Hi, it's Ronnie. And I was requested by a friend to do a layout share, which I normally don't do, but I told her I'd go ahead and do it. Um, I think they're in order of how I did them in August. And so it's August 2024. And I did change this layout a bit. I had greenery just coming up from here, and it kind of bothered me every time I looked at it. I thought, man, that looks symmetric. And I thought, I'll just fill it in. So that's what I did. And I think I added this one right here, this little branch right there. But this is a paper from a paper pad called Surfaces that Debbie gave me. And all I did was cut around some of the rocks, since there's so many rocks in my photos. And it is stamped here with the Crackle stamp. I think it's called Crackle. And this is a Tim Holtz one. And it has, I think it might be, other than the Tall and Slim, the tallest one Tim Holtz has. And these dies that I added are from an old Tim Holtz, I think it's Spring Greenery, but I think he has a couple. I think he has one that's just greenery, but mine's old. Wait a second. Mine is one of these, but you can get them in the thin dies. And I use my favorite cattails, but I left them green. And the photos are of my two youngest grandsons stacking rocks at a creek bed. So there was plenty of rocks because it was a creek bed. And I added the little dinosaur. He does have a dinosaur on his shirt, but I added him because it looked like fossils in some of these rocks. And I thought he'd look cute on there. And he is bones instead of being a regular dinosaur like his shirt. And I also had these, well, they're from Tim Holtz Field Notes, and I stamped them out. Anyway, I used them on here as embellishments. Lots of fun creating that. And then this one is the 49 and Market, the latest travel one. Wherever, maybe? That might be what it's called. Anyway, it has a train in it, and so, of course, I wanted to use it with these pictures of my great niece and nephew. And all I did, I don't think I added anything besides what was in the collection, other than I added some of the ephemera. No, it is not ephemera. I added some mixed media to the back. I used stencils here and here, and maybe a couple other places. And this one, I added a lot of mixed media to the back. You can see it just everywhere. And I really like the paper, but when I got ready to make the layout, I thought I was just going to leave it plain, but then I wanted to add more, so I added more. And I think it's all stenciling. Well, there was some packaging on here, and stamping. And I used the frame. This is Nature Study, but I used the frame from the other, last year's Travel 49 Market. I wanted to add something over here, so I used a strip of a scrap, or maybe I cut it, I don't remember, over there. So then I had to put it over here, and so this was kind of an afterthought to put it over here, but it worked out really good. And then this die cut is from Bramble Fox, and they have like two sets of border ones, and they're both great. And you can buy the two sets together and save some money, or buy just one set. And this was already die cut out. Anyway, I added a little bit of rub-ons to it so it would look more aged is what I was going for here. And then ephemera, and of course my favorite thing, cattails, but I did color the cattails brown instead of green. And this is my daughter and grandsons, and we were either at Cades Cove or really close to it, and they were going over the bridge, and I'm taking the picture. So that's my view a lot when I'm taking pictures, because I tell them, go ahead, so I can take a picture. And this one is a photo play, and this is my youngest grandson and then my other grandson, and he is climbing into a bouncy house, and here he kind of got on the stuck side, and then his brother helped him using his feet and his hands and pushing it up, and he came out down here. So it's my brother, my hero, Jason, Monster Slayer Extraordinaire. Beautiful colors in this, and I'm pretty sure this is Simple Stories because I recognize that piece, and that one kind of looks familiar with Simple Stories too. And this one is an old Chamel. Y'all might recognize it. And I have pictures of my grandson, and he does have a minion on his t-shirt. So I made a minion with punch art here. And like I said, all these have process videos, so there is a video on how to make him. And he's got his rock, so I added a rock to the minion's hand too. So it says, "To Rocking Amateur Geologist," and the title itself is "Look What I Found." Oh, and they had a small one like this in the collection, and I started to use it, but then I thought, I think I want it bigger, so I just made my own. And this is one, it is 49 and Market, and probably nature study, but you never know what I have mixed in with it, because I have nature study, naturalist, curators, meadow, and another one. I did say naturalist, but anyway, I think it's 4 collections in there. And I mixed them together and use them on the layout. Cattails again. Yeah, I know. Y'all can tell I love them. And a Tim Holtz punch with a little branch tucked in here. I made the flowers with an EK Success punch and just a regular 1/4 inch punch, like the office punch. And I wanted this butterfly to show, so I kind of set my little cluster over there to the left. And my title's "Oh Dear Me, This Road is No Place for a Nap." And my daughter's holding a baby deer here, little tiny fawn. And she come over the rise going to her house. And there is lots of speed bumps on that road. So you can't get going too fast because, you know, they've got kids and everything, and they want to make sure it stays safe. But it's mini farm, so it is out in the country, as you can tell. Anyway, she thought it was a dead baby deer in the road, but when they threw on the brakes, stopped, and was screaming and getting out, it moved, and she could tell it was alive. So she was putting it on the other side of the fence and getting it out of the road. And this one, it was from a class with Christina, and I started a long time ago and finished it in August. So part of it is not August, but I did finish it in August. And the pictures are of Jason and Hope, and they were a lot smaller back then. And it was a video, and so it's kind of on the fuzzy side, but I wanted to keep the memory in a scrapbook. So I screenshot them, and my son went in the living room and the kids were playing. He did the whole video for me so I could be right there with them. And then he hit record because I told him I wanted to take photos of this, you know, screenshots of it. And here he gave Jason a flashlight, and he was checking it out. And he told him, go under the bed. He could have easily moved the bed and got the turtle, but he was taking them on an adventure. And so Jason crawled all the way over to the other corner, and it's on the videotape too, but because it was under the bed, it was even worse. So, yeah, because he was not under the bed taking it. But you got to see him get the turtle and then come back out with him. And, well, actually, this is the one coming back out, but you couldn't see the turtle with this here. And I would either had to move it or not have the turtle showing. And I wanted the turtle to show. So the turtle's here, and then there's this one, and then the two of them. And Hope was really tickled when she seen the turtle come out from under there with him. And this one is Simple Stories. No, it is not. It's 49 and Market, and it's Spectrum Gardenia. And so it's a story of the day. You gotta love them shades. The background did a whole lot for it, but I did add a few layers here and other odds and ends, some flowers here, and 3 butterflies, and some enamel dots here and there, and that's all I did to it. And they're my granddaughter at school, and these were on Facebook. The teacher posted them so that everybody could have them, and they have shades on. Some of them were kind of wild. Some aren't quite so wild, but they all look really super cute in them. And this one's Reagan and Charlie. And they are standing on a platform. The sunflowers aren't that short. And they're not that tall. But I use 49 Market Countryside. And it has sunflowers, so I have this back part. But I did gut it. So I've got the 2 papers and some washi tape in between to hold them together. This one is on top of the corner. I didn't put any down there. It was such a small piece. I wanted to add a little more color, so I added red to the sides, and I did add some fired brick to the edges of the paper where I tore it, just barely the edges. And I used my chicken wire die, which I love, and use odds and ends from the Countryside. And this one here had the alphabet, so I thought I'd add it on there, since they are little kids and they had already learned their alphabet, but I thought it would be cute on there. And this one, I might have to throw a bit of glue on this one. Hold on. Just a little bit, just to make sure it stays. I usually do that when I take the photos. And apparently I fell down on the job there. Let me put this back. But, yeah, sunflower on top, and this was one from this piece right here. I cut it out and used it with the frame and added the bow. So together in the sunshine. And you can see Charlie's got her eyes all squinted. Reagan was a little better at holding hers open. But yeah, right there in the sunshine. I did tone it down, and I showed the other picture where it was even brighter. But you can see I toned it down, and I did that vignette, I think it's called, yeah. And this one's of Malachi when he was smaller. He's only 4. His birthday was Sunday, but he's only 4 now, but still he was smaller here. And my friend Debbie sent me this collection, and it's great for little boys. It is so cute. It's photo play, and I fussy cut the white off of the pieces because y'all know I have an obsession with that. And I picked this one, but then I picked the paper after that. I had a different one picked, and I just went ahead and went with it. There was another one I could have used, but it was yellow, and there wasn't that much yellow on the layout, and I went with this one instead. And I did change this little cluster right here because for some reason I had the mushroom kind of pointing out like this, like it was some kind of arm to pull for the alarm. And oh, that's just not going to work. So I put it over here, but a little part of the stem was showing, and I thought about taking it down a little more, but I wanted the height, so I hand cut some greenery right there and added it to it. So when I did that, I went ahead and added some over here. But that's all I did on this one. And this one was Stretch the Sketch, And don't know if y'all can see all this. I'll put the picture in there though. So you can see it. But this one would be the left side, sorry. And my daughter took the photos, and this the twins and their cousin Courtney. And I added the radar stencil here and added a little bit more orange there. And this one is, the background paper is Curator's Meadow. And then this is Craft Consortium. I love that paper pad because you get 30 sheets of wood grain, and it's only, well, some places you can get it for $11 and something, and others 16. So 30 sheets for that amount is still pretty good. And my title is Happy Fall, Y'all. And I used my punch on these flowers. No, that one is a Stampin' Up! Punch. It punches out 3. But I already had these punched out, I believe. And these are EK Success. But I did punch those out for the layout. And here's the other one, the stretching part. And so I stretched it over and made 3 little layered photos. And as you can tell, that's one big layered photo. And put the 3 there. And I don't like them exactly even, which y'all know. I like them a little bit off. Sometimes they just go better in my mind, even, but mostly it don't. So I just made 3 clusters here. And this is for Pink Fresh Friday. And I was using, oh my goodness, something garden, I think. Flower Market, that's it. It wasn't no garden at all. I think it was Flower Market. And like this was already cut out, and I couldn't find a place for it on the last layout I had this collection out with. But I put it on this one. And the first time I laid the vellum on here with this is a tone on tone. It's got flowers. With this on here, oh, they just popped with color. So I used more than I expected to. I thought I'd use just a couple, maybe 3, but no, I used more. And the title is Photo Op, and then I added a couple of other things that have verbiage. And this is my granddaughter Reagan, and we went and stopped at the park on the way taking them home one day. And I went to take a couple of pictures, you know, for the memory. But I ended up taking a lot because they say, take my photo. Here, take another picture. Look, Mama. And all that kind of stuff. So I had as much fun as they did. And more because I get to scrapbook it. And this one is a Simple Story Saturday. And this is my nephew and his girlfriend at Blue Spring, Missouri. And you can see the blue water here. And it's up by Eminence, Missouri. And so I wanted to make the flowers a similar color. So I went and took, I believe it was peacock feathers. And then the collection I used was Weathered Garden. I almost said Indigo Gardens, but it's Weathered Garden. And I added a couple clusters. This is the page with the heart, but it's a little hard to see. You practically have to know it's there. And this was the last layout for the month, and this was for the 25th of the month, so it'll be 25th of Christmas in August is what this one would be. And this is my nephew, and they were having a family photo op, and this is his older sister. And you can see, if you're looking at the photo, her mouth is just wide open because she's surprised. He comes sliding in there and photobombed their photo. But you can see where the rug is kind of up. And it's a lot worse on the part I had to cut off. But it kept cropping up short and having her missing. And I thought she was an important part of the story. So this part is right. I just cropped off the bottom here and missed out on the rug. But this one didn't print correctly, so I hate to throw it away, so I just made a little frame up here with a close-up of him. But that's the end of my photo my layout share for the month of August. And I had a lot of fun making them, of course. But I will try to remember to put the links down there below. But if I don't remember, they are on my channel because all of them have process videos. But have a happy, scrappy week, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye!